Hello students. Today we are going to see this topic, types of microprocessor, um, memory devices. Okay, so the first thing is types of memory processor. A microprocessor can be classified based on the following criteria: the width of data that can be processed and the instruction set. Okay, so the width of data that can be processed by the microprocessor uh, is a category of classification. Okay, so based on the width or number of bits or number of bytes that can be uh, processed at a particular instant of time by the processor is is a factor of classification. So based on that, you can see that classification of the microprocessor based on the data width depends on the data width microprocessor can process the instruction. The microprocessor can be classified as 8-bit microprocessor, 16-bit microprocessor, 32-bit and 64-bit. Okay, so based on this bits of calculation, so here you can see that recently you can see that i3, i5, i9 processor, i7 processor, sorry. So this kind of processor are available in both 32-bit and 64-bit processor. So if you want to see the processor bit uh, data with capacity, then you have to right click on the my computer icon and see the properties. Okay, and click on the properties, then you can see that what is the CPU that is used in your computer, and what is the data with of that particular processor can be viewed in that property window. So so here you can see that the first category is 8-bit. So the processor can handle 8 bits of data as a data width. Okay, so next is 16-bit. So 16, 30, 16, 32 and 64 are the four different types of CPUs or microprocessor. See, microprocessor and CPU are both are the same. Okay, don't get confused. uh, Next classification is based on the instruction set. The size of an instruction set in is important consideration while categorizing microprocessor. There are two types of microprocessor based on this instruction set: reduced instruction set computer and complex instruction set computer. So example of RISE processor or Pentium 4, Intel P6, AMD K6 and K7 are the examples. And example for CISC processor or Intel 386 and 486, Pentium 2, Pentium 3 and Motorola 68000. So these are all the different types of processor that are based on the instruction set. Okay, so instruction set means reduced instruction set means uh, it is designed for a small set of instruction set, and a complex instruction set means it will contain a larger instruction set so that it can process many instruction at the same time. So next is memory devices. So memory device is just like a human brain. It is used to store information or data and instruction. The computer memory is the storing space in the computer where data and instruction are stored. There are two types of accessing method to access. One is read and one is write. Uh, there are sequence of access and random access. In sequential access, the memory is accessed in a orderly manner from start to end, but in random access, any byte of memory can be accessed directly without navigating through the previous byte. Difference between different memory devices are arranged according to the capacity, speed, and cost, as shown in figure 3.6. Okay, so here you can see that the first place is cache memory, so it is very fast enough, and then the next one is main memory. So it is here you can see that it is compared to cache memory. Main memory is somewhat lesser in performance, but it can store main large amount of information. So next is data the hard disk. So this is somewhat even more having lesser performance than cache memory and even more lesser than the main memory. Here you can see that it can handle large amount of data than the uh, other two memories types of memory. Cache memory will be available in MBs and memories will be available in GBs, but a hard disk will be available in TBs. Okay, uh, so that is the thing here. So next is random access memory. So the main memory is otherwise called random access memory. This is available in the computer in the form of integrated circuits, that means ICs. Uh, it is it is the place a computer where operating system, application program, and data is currently used are kept temporarily so that they can be accessed by the computer processor. The smallest unit of information that can be stored in the memory is called a bit. Okay, so it is an important to mark. What is meant by bit? It is the smallest amount of information that can be stored in the computer memory. Okay, the memory can be accessed by a collection of 8 bits, which is called byte. Okay, so what is meant by byte? So 8 bits is known as 1 byte. RAM is a volatile memory, so which means the information stored inside in it is not permanent. Okay, so if the power goes off, then the content which is stored in the RAM will be erased. Okay, as soon as the power is off, uh, whatever whatever data that resides in the RAM is lost. It allows both read and write operation. Okay, so the next is types of RAM. There are two types of RAM. One is dynamic RAM and the another is static RAM. These two types differ in the technology that they use to hold data. Okay, dynamic RAM, um, being a common type, needs to be refreshed frequently. Static RAM needs to be frequent less often, which makes it faster. Hence, static RAM is more expensive than dynamic RAM. Read-only memory ROM. Read-only memory refers to the special memory in a computer where pre-recorded data at manufacturing time, which cannot be modified. So the stored program that starts the computer and perform diagnosis are available in ROM. ROM stores critical programs such as the program that boots the computer. Once the data has been written into ROM chip, it cannot be modified or removed and can only be read. Read-only memory retains its contents even when the computer is turned off, so ROM is non-volatile. Okay, so non-volatile means the content which is stored in the memory will not be erased. Okay, but volatile means the content which is stored in the memory will be erased when the power goes off. So next is programmed read-only memory. The programmable read-only memory is a non-volatile memory on which data can be written only once. So once a program has been written onto a PROM, it remains there forever until the main memory PROM retains this content even when the computer is turned off. The PROM differs from ROM. PROM is manufactured as a blank memory, whereas ROM is programmed during the manufacturing process itself. PROM programmers or PROM burner is used to write data to the PROM chip. The process of PROM programming a PROM is called burning the PROM. Okay, so this is also an important 2 mark. So what is meant by burning of PROM? Okay, PROM means burning means writing the data into or programming the data into the PROM is known as burning of PROM. Next is erasable programmable read-only memory. Erasable programmable read-only memory is a special type of memory which serves as a PROM, but the content can be erased using ultraviolet rays. Okay, so the content of a EEPROM is can be deleted by using only ultraviolet rays. Okay, and it is also another type of PROM. EEPROM retains its contents until it is exposed to ultraviolet rays. The ultraviolet light clears its contents, makes it possible to uh, reprogram the memory. And EEPROM differs from PROM. PROM can be written only once and cannot be erased, but EEPROM are used widely in personal computers because it is enable the manufacturer to change the content of the PROM to replace with the updated version or erase the content before the computer is delivered. So here you can see that this is a picture of EEPROM. In the center area there is a sensor to receive the ultraviolet rays. So when the sensor is exposed to ultraviolet rays, the content which is stored inside this EEPROM will be erased. Okay, so next is EEPROM. So electrically erasable read-only memory. So electrically erasable read-only memory reads only read-only memory is a special type of PROM that can be erased by exposing it to electric charges. Like other type of PROM and EEPROM retains its contents even when the power is turned off. Comparing with all other types of ROM and EEPROM is slower in performance. Okay, so EEPROM is slower in performance, and the content of the uh, EEPROM uh, will be erased when it is exposed to electric charges, and uh, it can be it is a special type of PROM. Okay, so these are all the important points. Next is cache memory. The cache memory is a very high speed and expensive memory which is used to speed up the memory retrieval process. Due to its high cost, the CPU comes with a smaller size of cache memory compared with the size of the main memory. Without cache memory, every time the CPU requests the data that has to be fetched from the main memory, which will consume more time. The idea of introducing a cache is that this extremely fast memory would store data that is frequently accessed if possible uh, the data that is closer to it. Okay, so this helps to achieve the fast response time, where response time refers to how quickly the memory can respond to read or write request. Figure 3.8 shows the arrangement of a cache memory between the CPU and the main memory. So this cache memory will be located inside the processor itself. Okay, inside the CPU itself. So this will be a very low memory size. Okay, say for example 5 MB or 10 MB uh, cache memory. It is a very high expensive and high speed memory. Okay, so this cache memory will take the next executing instruction from the RAM and keep it on its content. Okay, so that the CPU no need to go to the main memory and collect the next instruction. Okay, so this will speed up the process, and it gives instant response to the instruction. Okay, so since it is very fast, it is placed inside the CPU itself in a very small amount of memory capacity. Okay, so nowadays you can see that it is available. The processor which is manufactured nowadays has two cache memories in it. Okay, in olden days it will have only one cache memory, but nowadays they are keeping two cache memories in the CPU itself. Okay, so with this we'll finish the class today. We'll see the rest of the things in the next class. Thank you, students.